Welcome back for another deck testing series on tattoos, cards and games. On the left we have Julian M, I believe running a Lightning Earth build, and Lewis C on the right running Paul McAvoy 7-Wall from Cactomania. So let's just see where these guys go. I'm not sure who got the high roll. I think it was Julian, and we see a mulligan. So I believe this is the build that runs the mannequin deck, the mannequin backups to reduce the X death. We've seen similar cards played before on the channel. Yeah, so it looks like he's going to play into a Delusionary Warlock. It's going to allow him to search out another drop mannequin of a different element, allowing him to color fix. And there he chooses a Lady of Antiquity. So she'll be able to just cost any of your other job mannequins with CP of any element. I'd just like to apologise for the croakiness. And it looks like Lewis is having a bit of a hard time deciding exactly what he wants to do here. Doesn't look like he's got that Warrior of Light in hand yet. So, will we see... Looks like he's holding a Tyvus. Will we see an overpay for a Tyvus? No, so he plays into a human. That's going to allow him to draw a card. If he had controlled more fire backups, he could have dealt 7k to, well, nothing, because Julian has nothing on field yet. Nonetheless, it's a start. So now back to Julian. I imagine we'll just see him drop that Lady of Antiquity, stabilise his backups for colour fixing, and it's going to reduce the cost to play Lightning X Death by 1. So does Delusionary Warlock as well, so that is a 2 CP reduction on that card so far. So some interesting cards here in Lewis's hand. Looks like he's... I'm not sure what he's doing. Checking his break zone. Looks like he's holding 2 Tyvus now. So we see a discard of a Tyvus, taps for 1, and plays into Cloud. This is the Cloud that has 3 following actions. It's choose 1 forward, deal it 5k, choose 1 category 7 forward in the break zone, add it to hand, or choose 1 forward without a 3 card symbol you control, search for 1 forward with the same name, add it to your hand. Now unfortunately, he hasn't reaped the benefits of any of those abilities, which is a real shame for Lewis. Here we see tap 2 and a discard to play Reeve. Reeve's going to allow Julian to look at the top 3 cards of his deck, put 1 of them into his hand and the other 2 to the bottom. So we're back over to Lewis. Now I imagine we must see that Tyvus now. It's probably been itching to play it. Yeah, there we go. So now we're going to see a search. Now I know there's a few targets in here. The usual target I see people going for is the Axe Star. but I know this deck runs Ward, a few other bits. Let's see what he goes for. I imagine he'd just go for the Axstar. Yep. So that Axstar, if he chooses to enter it, is going to dull and freeze all the characters other than cost 3, which will include his own. So see if he enters that, or whether he's holding something else that he wants to play to field. There we go. So yeah, Axstar comes in. He's going to play in the Ward with him, which unfortunately isn't doing much except ramping up his forwards. It's a shame because everything so far that Lewis has played in, he has lost real value on, other than the fact that Axstar played a forward in with it. Okay, let's see. Julian tap 3, play into a Guardian. So that's going to allow Julian to draw a card. He has no forwards. So, here we go. So he plays into a... I'm just trying to work out what's going on here. Okay, so has he just played that Shinru out of hand? Okay, it looks like Lewis here is ammatting to stop the search, which is going to slow that down quite a bit. We're still in Julian's turn. He's played into a Gabranth. Now this Gabranth, when it enters the field, allows you to search for a forward of cost 5 or more and add it to your hand. It has other buffs if you have taken points of damage, which aren't really applicable yet, but it's going to allow him to search into his Noct. Now I imagine next turn for Julian we're really going to see him sort of start to ramp things up.
You can't see my hand. James is just giving me hand signals behind Richard.
Would it be like, do you think they'll leave the on the
A lot of deliberating here from Lewis. So here we tap 2. Okay, so that's 6 playing into the Sarah. Now Sarah's going to let him search out for those Warrior of Lights. I don't see the one on the bottom. I see he's gone for the 7 wall. I imagine it's probably the 4 colour underneath. Excuse me. So I'm a little bit croaky. I've got a little bit of a funny throat. Hopefully I'll be all better soon. So now if Lewis is going to opt to play 7 wall next turn, he's playing a really dangerous game. So that with that Shinryu on field, if Julian draws into that, he is going to be facing a board wipe. So imagine now this time we'll see the Noct come down. when he does come down, he's going to search for up to 3 Job Warrior of Darkness with different names and add all 3 of them to his hand. And at the beginning of the attack phase, for each of your turns, you may play 1 Job Warrior of Darkness of cost 5 or less from your hand to the field. So, really, really strong card.
3, 5, 7, and 9.
Yeah, there we go, the 9, so the card is coming down. So now we're going to see a search.
It happens so often.
Now I imagine you'll be looking at cards like Alba, Diana,
I saw the side arm. That's the one.
So I'm going to move to combat, play Alba, off nut, lets me draw a card.
So he plays the Diana, allowing him to draw a card on entry. Now this does have another ability. If he does 1 active Job Warrior of Darkness, he can choose a forward to dull it. So going to combat, swinging with the Shinryu. Ooh, and we see an Amat come down on the damage, which can't feel too great for Lewis.
Pass there.
And we see Pasta. I imagine we'll see 7 Woe come down now. Oh, Julian showing his hand. Let's hope that he thinks twice. And there we go. There goes the wall. So now he's going to search for 2, 3 costs. I say search. He's going to turn over and play 2, 3 costs onto the field. I imagine the choices at this point are probably Zeromus. So it looks like he's removed the Furion. There's no way he's not picking a Zeromus. So there you go, so he's taking the Yuzuki and he'll take the Zeromus, no doubt. So now he's just triggering the freeze from the Zeromus. Looks like he's targeting a backup. The only logical targets. So yeah, there's the Guardian frozen. Please excuse my lurgy sounding throat. So now he's swinging with the Axe Star, which is going to kill that Nosh. That's a pretty powerful swing. I believe it's probably just out 12k. And we see a Shantoto.
Yes, there's one in there, yeah.
Next time.
Right, now we're back over to Julian. And now I have no doubt in my mind we will see Shinryu come down. It's probably just a case of what do I want to get rid of to do it.
So I'm going to play 2 for 6 and do Shinryu's this ability. Break all forward
Yep,
opponent
Tidal
controls.
Wave, cost 6 plus special, break all forwards opponent controls.
That's what I showed you.
So that is very crippling. straight after playing that 7 wall, you know, painful. And now likely we'll see X-Death. So X-Death, if there are 10 or more cards removed from the game, X-Death gains 2k. When he enters the field, he removes all the characters in each player's break zone from the game. Anyway, at the end of each turn, if there are 20 or more cards removed from the game, your opponent selects one character they control and they remove it. So now we're going to see progressively each turn Lewis having to remove a character as long as that X-Death stays on field. And I imagine we're likely to see 3 swings from Julian now before the end of the turn.
Dumbass, why didn't I dull Diana?
What to do? What to stop the...
Yeah. Well, I would have had to have done it, yeah.
Preemptive,
Yeah, so combat, swing.
Yep, so there we see 1, see 2. Seeing that Clive go to break zone, I'm sure it was pretty painful as well. And the human is removed from the game. I think they're just clearing up there by X-Death's ability. And here we finally see Clive come down. And he's going to pay 2 straight away to prime him. I imagine he'll get rid of that X-Death. Sure thing. Couldn't let that survive. Ooh, Julian playing a risky game there by taking the damage, because that's going to allow 10k to go through and break Shinryu. Lewis got some real value off of Ifrit that turn. Will it be enough to change the stakes though? So Julian sees some haste. Lewis could be looking at game.
I think purely because you're open.
Yep, so just moving straight to combat.
Swing. Main 2.
So Lewis now at 6, and Julian moving to main phase 2. Here we go, paying 4. And we see the limit break lightning. So that's going to allow him to bring 1 lightning summon back to his hand.
Take who do I want to take back? I'll take back Akusa.
Oh no, you can't take back Akusa. It has to be a lightning summon.
Yeah, because you only had it for a power, and it's got to be choosing forward +4 on that.
So this is a misplay here.
Oh, wait, tell a lie, sorry, it's got to be a lightning.
There you go, he's picked it up. He has realised what he's done. So that Kusis going back in the break zone. And it looks like he brought back an Odin. Lewis top decking. I imagine it's probably time to start digging through that limit break deck. I should think maybe we'd see like a Leo or... Oh no, really? Yeah, we should see maybe like a Leo. See if he can draw into something. There's only 2 cards in hand, so anything that he does draw into, he's going to have a hard time getting out onto the field now. So no, instead we're going to see that Zach limit break. So he's going to choose a forward deal at 3k, which is just a couple thousand shy of what he needed to get rid of that lightning. And yeah, we'll see the Leo as well. And hopefully he can draw into something. And I couldn't quite make out what that was. I imagine we'll see some antics from Deanna now, dulling down some of those forwards, or at least Ifrit.
This is really weird, but we're gonna do it.
Okay, so we're going into the limit break.
2, 4, 6 for edge. Have to remove 3.
Ooh, okay, so now when edge enters the field until the end of the turn, all of the forwards of lightning will gain the ability when this forward attacks. Choose a forward and deal it 7,000 damage. I just, you know, I still think that Diana, if he dulls that, would just tie down the Ifrit. But it looks like he's just swinging with lightning and dealing 7k.
She dies in swing with Diana, 7k.
Okay, so he's dealing the second 7k, which is now going to break that Ifrit. And then he only has Gabranth left to attack with this turn. That's not going to deal 7k to anything, but it is going to force a block from Lewis.
Pass that. I don't play this guy.
Yeah, I actually haven't seen it. I mean, I think I actually have a copy of it. I haven't seen it play. Oh yeah, no,
It does look as though Lewis is holding a Zeromus, and I think he's holding a Gilgamesh FFBE. Yeah, it's a bit hard to tell from the hand at the moment. exactly what he's holding. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I was right. It was the Gilgamesh. So, if Lewis has 3 different elements in his break zone, he'll gain 1k haste and first strike. If he has 7, he will gain brave, and he can attack 3 times in the same turn. Oh, 9 straight back into another knob. So now I imagine we're going to see the Diana come back down, though the Diana, which will tie down the Gilgamesh, and it's going to allow it to swing for game. It looks like it was the only target left. Yeah, just pointing to the Alba that went into the break zone. So he's obviously looking for that as well. But to be honest, the Diana is going to be enough. Yep. Tie it down, dial it, and that's game. Now it doesn't feel like that came out for Lewis how he wanted to. Maybe I think it was his first night running the build and he's not familiar. So yeah, Julian's deck came up strong in that one. But anyway, nonetheless, we hope you enjoyed it.